Hello and welcome to In Conversation with the One Hour Mentor, Anak Desai. Anak Desai has been a suit for 30 years before he turned mentor, coach, and founder of the One Hour Mentor and OnePlus 99 Experience Consulting. You can learn more about him across social media platforms as @Anak. This is a casual conversation with professionals from various fields. We ask them about their life journey and attempt to gather lessons from their triumphs and failures. This recorded show is accessible on YouTube and other platforms. So let's begin our conversation with the One Hour Mentor, Anak Desai.
And our guest today is Gaurav. Gaurav is more popularly known on Twitter as Taklu Man, an old Twitter hand who has gone from business to service and to business and to entrepreneurship. He loves to cook, strum the guitar over an old bong or two on his terrace with friends surrounded. Welcome to the show, Gaurav. One is, I think, the first time we spoke and we met, and now it should be around 9 to 10 years, literally a decade kind of a thing. And at that point of time, you were very hassled in life. कि ठीक है घर का नहीं चलता है तो ऑफिस का नहीं चलता है, ऑफिस का चल रहा है तो घर का नहीं चल रहा है, kind of a story. I think everybody undergoes that, but that was very strong for you at that point of time, if I remember correctly. And then you try to help somebody out in the entrepreneur space, try to do, then move back to working full time, learned from there, then moved into finally the entrepreneur space. And obviously during this period you got married also. I think that is more peaceful to on your face than I think probably the rest of it. But can you just share what the journey has been about for this last 8-10 years?
So the one thing I would today, especially when I look back, what I see is my life has been evolving constantly.
Okay.
One thing that doesn't stay for a long time is doing the same repeated things again and again. As a person, I do have insatiable appetite to learn and experience new things. So that's where the whole experiment started, right fresh out of college. Probably this story might not be known, but the entrepreneurial journey started right out of diploma college. So
Okay.
a 10 plus 3 computer engineering diploma.
Okay.
And we had the opportunity right in front of us, where again a middle class family, both my brother actually of the same age. So the choice was whether to spend 10 lakhs and get the what do you call admission in engineering, versus there was a small opportunity कि यार 5 लाख deposit देके धंधा चालू हो सकता है. So at that time the default decision was, okay, let's try and do some business. Maybe we can earn 50 lakhs instead of paying 10 lakhs as donation and spend 4 years learning. Maybe we'll get to learn along the way, along the job. And that's precisely where the journey started. The first inspiration. I mean, we have to learn and learn to earn at the same time. Then after exiting from one small venture which we sold off at the age of 22, we actually sold off a company and managed to generate enough to buy some sofa, maybe a small car and a few things and there. But for a 22-year-old, I mean, that is like a big $1 million exit in terms of the possibility that it can bring. At that time, I actually got into this job ever, which was after 3 years of entrepreneurship. The idea is to again learn. I didn't have any idea regarding software, these applications, how large companies are working, how these web applications are. So I joined a local company which had set up shop, and that was also my first exposure to e-governance. So very interesting. Back in 2003, 2004, when we were trying to sell literally PowerPoints packaged as huge applications, which was futuristic in nature. That you'll be able to collect data on your cellular phones, you'll be able to get some stuff on mobile, etc. So that piece was really exciting. And the next journey started where you pointed out, like a lot of us, I too went through a very, very rough period of around say 4 odd years. To make it simple, ना नौकरी थी ना छोकरी थी और income के नाम पे सिर्फ टोकरी थी. So I was trying a few things. Also was undergoing therapy. I was diagnosed with clinical depression. Something I was finding it very difficult to really understand what I want to do, where I want to be, and what is it that I really want in life. I mean, it was daily existence without any purpose or a goal in mind. It was just a matter of survival. EMI भरना है तो कुछ पैसे चाहिए. So वो EMI के हिसाब से खुद को वैल्यू का शुरू हो गया. कि एटलीस्ट 25,000 मिल गए तो ठीक है. Doesn't matter what you are earning just maybe 6 months or a year prior to that.
Correct.
It should have been maybe 10 times of that. So the whole system of looking at yourself, it changed. It took a big toll on me. Also, a troubled relationship happened during that phase. And then came a point where, I just had to say, enough is enough. No matter what good intentions others have, if I don't take action, if I don't take the first step, it's not possible for me to get out of this situation where I'm neither comfortable what I'm doing, nor am I clear what I want to go ahead. So at that point, my life started changing. And thanks to a lot of folks whom I reached out quite shamelessly, I mean, you being one of them, I mean, you could recall that story. That kuch bhi chahiye, I want to work. I want to get out of this. I want to get back into the job. I want to start consulting. I want to achieve something. And a lot of people offer their help. So that was one key learning: can never hesitate to ask, and when in need, do go ahead and ask help from people who have been there, who have done that, people who have certain knowledge to bring to the table. A lot of times we hesitate कि सामने क्या सोचेगा. But when you're already in that situation where people can see that you're depressed, just like looking at you, just the way you speak. So, I mean, it can't get worse than that. People already know. The ones who really care about, they really offered a lot of help. And it's because of the support of a lot of these people that I was able to come out of the situation and then take the next leap in life, which resulted in, again, a big job. And just before the job, I found the woman I really wanted to get married, and been leading a happy married life for the last 5+ years now.
So what would you say was one learning out of this entire time? One learning which, can be, you treat it as your mantra, you treat it as something anybody should not forget, or just that one thing. Like in my case, that in the last 10 years, I have decided that I have to learn to say no more often. Okay, coming from a corporate background, where no was always a given and yes was very rare, and you never had to do either of them at a senior position, it became difficult for me to say, given the kind of person I am, to tell somebody no who would also intrude on my time, etc., etc. So similar to it, what is it that has you have probably learned?
I guess one of the key learnings would be act. In my own case, I mean, there was no dearth of ideas. There was no lack of talent or capability. The only thing that was keeping me back was the willingness to act. दिन में 100 ख्याल आते हैं दिमाग में. मैंने Airbnb बना लिया, Uber भी बना दिया, सारे एंटरप्राइज एप्लीकेशन भी बना दिए, 100 मिलियन के धंधे भी बेच दिए. But it was all ख्याली पुलाव. The one thing that I changed completely is, okay, there's a thought. Is it adding value to me, to my business, to my customer? Worth it, act on it. If you don't want to act on it, stop thinking on it. Ultimately, by just building some ideas, you're not going to fool anyone. You're just yourself. असली काम तभी होगा when you're willing to act, take the first step. So I will evaluate whether I want to work in this direction, whether I want to go in this direction, whether I'm willing to take the first step. If the answer is yes, go ahead. If no, park it aside. not worth wasting time over.
Okay, so coming to present, what is this thing on purpose? So obviously there is a lot of information on your website and slick looking video which you put on LinkedIn and all that. But in
Thank you.
simple terms, can you share with us, if I were to want to come to you, what is this thing on purpose I need to be aware of to come to you? Or is it, what should I say, just a brainstorming thing? I mean, what is it? What does it say, and what does it help, and how does it work?
The genesis of Think on Purpose was through a grilling journey. Both me and Neha, we were able to find a purpose for which we are willing to commit. The purpose of helping people overcome their limitations and excel in life. The limitations that we typically work are the ones which we impose on ourselves, and because of which we are not able to reach the next level of life, going from point A where you are to point where you really want to reach. So in order to bridge this gap, this is where Think on Purpose plays a critical role, bringing in subject matter experts who help you overcome these inhibitions and challenges and achieve the next level growth in your life. We focus mainly on the personal development side, where your personal growth, personal confidence. We work on issues related to personal health. We work on matters related to relationships and wealth creation. So these are broadly the four areas where a lot of traditional college or institutional learning touch upon the capabilities and the thought processes that you need in order to excel. So we're bridging that gap using Think on Purpose as a learning platform.
Interesting. And when did you sort of officially launch this?
We officially launched this last month. So as to say the portal, but the working has been going on for the last 6 to 8 months, where it has gone through intensive testing. We worked with a lot of clients, understand the requirements. What are the problems that they really want a platform like us to solve? I mean, are there questions, are there problems that are not getting solved? After trying all, we have culminated all the knowledge, experience, and then taken the platform approach to make the solutions available. So the market urge plus validation testing took us almost 7 to 8 months prior to this.
And the people you currently counsel come only from within the city of Bombay, Maharashtra, or it is spread all across India, or is it spread across the world? I mean, how does it?
So I would say we are getting customers from all corners of the world. Being a digital and online business, there was no geographical constraint apart from certain time to deliver, etc. But as of now, we have customers from 3 continents, and of course, a lot of customers from Mumbai and urban India. Surprisingly enough, there are customers coming in from remote corners of India, areas where service providers, mentors, coaches, etc., are still not operational.
Oh, that is very, very interesting, because which also says that India is breaking out of the thought process of only family advising on such matters.
Absolutely. And one of the taglines that we use is that something that your college or your family or parenting could not teach. So these are typically areas that Think on Purpose focuses on.
And it's what, a 2-member team?
2-member team supported by a couple of partner organizations. We have a couple of youngs helping us with some content. Then freelance editors who are working on some content. On the technology side, it's just me and Neha for making the whole show run. Interestingly enough, I mean, what we are able to achieve in a small team would have taken others, maybe a team of at least 7-8 people.
Yeah, of course.
Manages the operations.
I think one is passion, Two is deciding to act and think that we will make mistakes and that is okay. And third is probably taking step at a time rather than चलो सब बन जाएगा उसके बाद करेंगे. So that market validation and platform going hand in hand and platform coming later is particularly a good decision when it's a lean mean team.
Absolutely. So it all started with one simple problem statement that Neha had to make. That Gaurav, I am posting a lot of interesting content on LinkedIn. We have some workshops that have converted, offline workshops. I need a website of my own. The requirement started with a simple website, and then things started, getting clear. I mean, why just a website? Are we able to book appointments? Are we able to accept payments? What if somebody wants to buy on? What if somebody wants to, really book a schedule with you online? Can we create multiple products? Okay, now I have this. Can I send out messages to all the people who have liked my post on LinkedIn?
Correct.
Can I send out emailers? Can I put in one small ad? So we started building all those components one by one, going digital first. And whatever we didn't want to do ourselves repeatedly every single day, we took a steer call. Let's automate it. Let's add more helping hands in terms of software that will do your repeated boring job. And we are free to do our creative content writing and the ideation and selling part.
Or even take a holiday. Or even take
a holiday. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's great. So now, since this is a house in one lane and a semi-office in another lane, means you don't commute most of the time. I said a house and office very close by means you don't need to commute any longer.
No, not at all.
So what do you do with those 3 hours?
Oh, I actually spend those hours doing what I love. Sometimes I spend a lot of time in my terrace, maybe jamming with the guitar or just gardening, something that both me and my father are passionate about. So we have a small garden where we're trying to grow veggies now. Let's see if the experiment becomes successful.
I remember that your family used to have a large catering business or something of that sort. Am I?
Oh, that was my
uncle or somebody.
My mom.
Somebody had, and you said that, okay, watching and learning, and I cook very well was, I remember last 5-6 years ago. But post that, have you ever cooked for your wife recently?
I cook twice a week since the lockdown. Okay. And earlier maybe twice a month. But again, my choice was I'll make specific things like some good non-vegetarian keema or maybe some different starter. So that passion stays. And there was one more twist of the story that back after I appeared for my 10th exam, SSC, काफी लोग तो खेलने कूदने में घूमने फिरने में कॉलेज के पीछे चलते. At that time, I had this passion and willingness to learn, and I wanted to learn cooking. Oh. So luckily, through my dad is hotel management background, first batch of IHM Mumbai. So a lot of these restaurant owners, senior folks in the hospitality industry are batchmates. So and chop one gunny bag full of onions on day one, where I had not actually held a knife and chopped an onion ever in my life. दूसरे दिन आता है कि you have to peel like 10 kgs of prawn. So I went through the grind throughout my vacation, worked there for a couple of months, got ragged royally, and the people who were actually ragging eventually became some of the best teachers who taught me some basics of making sauces, right from chopping vegetables to handling tandoor. What are the simple small techniques that one can learn? So it was, I guess, one of the most memorable experiences working in a hotel. Right from kitchen to front office to being a waiter.
That is very true. That is very true. So what next? Now, obviously, Convid is helping webinars, and Convid is helping people to think through and all of that. But one, obviously, it has not impacted your business too much. But there's still that impact which will, happen to everybody because priorities change. So the post-Convid is, what do you think yourself doing immediately post-Convid?
Immediately post COVID, I wish I would say going on a nice vacation on some beach. That's one thing everyone would love to do. But on business front, I think the path that we have chosen with Think on Purpose will stay the course and hopefully even post the COVID outbreak or the critical time in the COVID outbreak. We are focusing on sort of a need for which people are willing to invest and consume. So as long as the need exists, I think there will be a role for us to play. Other than that, it will be a wait and watch like most others to see where the behavioral pattern and priority matrix change as far as the end consumer is concerned. So that is something that we'll have to watch out.
Interesting answer, because these days I see most of my Instagram is filled with offers from life coach and seminars and webinars, and all of them wanting to teach me about everything, including how to use a shower, to right down to if you die, what will you should prepare, etc., etc. But nobody in there is making sense to me, because a salesperson says, oh, you have to go out and grab your customer. Now that is common to everybody. Every salesperson knows that he or she has to grab a customer. So what I was trying to find out in that scenario is, what is it that you think Think on Purpose can do differently, which sets you apart immediately, say 3-4 months post-COVID?
So what we have focused on is going back to absolute fundamentals and basics. The need of hierarchy of needs has to be understood very clearly. Yeah. Where do we lie? I mean, is something that a customer can live with, lived out in current situation or post-COVID? Is it mandatory for having these skills or capabilities? Okay. Speaking in public, you might need capabilities if you wanted to talk in front of an audience of 1,000 stadium. Right. But does that condition happen right now? No. In the near future, we are not seeing any physical events happening, right? At the same time, there is some other skill that was very specific to an industry. I again come back to the basics. What is the need? What is it that people can live without, can't live without? If you're in the second category, if you're enabling people to achieve what you want, even in the current scenario, then I think there will always be a demand. And actually, if you look at Indian market, coming back to your earlier point that there are a number of people trying to sell anything and everything. So quoting Mr. Kunal Shah, there was a very important statistic, a simple statement that he made, that even if you have to look at, say, 1% population which can resonate with your message, in India, it effectively means there are 10 million people who can buy it. No matter how good, bad, stupid that idea might be, but even if it resonates with 1%, there's a population of 10 million that could resonate with it. So one major mistake that I'm seeing as far as the industry is concerned is the basic of segmentation. Understand who your audience is, what their pain point is, and then focusing the message towards that audience. You can't come to and solve a 20-year-old's problem, because Anagha spent the last 30 years solving those problems for others in his own professional career. So understanding of consumer is far more important. And unless the segmentation is understood, we will be bombarding with all sorts of products that are not needed. And eventually this also leads to, a certain negative feeling towards the industry, that there are too many people, हर एक खुद को expert समझ रहा है, सब खुद को ही king मान रहे हैं. That's not the case. We want to be very simple. We know a few things. There are people who have experienced a few things, and we are going to talk about those things that we can, bring to the table. Rest, we are no experts. We are no gods of any business.
So, what is one likely to find Gaurav holding pre 7 p.m. and post 7 p.m.? Work, stress drives you to eat and drink what?
So pre 7 p.m. it will most often be coffee. A coffee addict in all forms, be it with milk, black, etc. And post 7 p.m. at least these days, you'll find me with a nice gin and tonic in one hand and a kadai in the other, whipping up some dish in the evening. So that's what I'll be doing.
Now, when you say coffee, I have this standard question for all people who say coffee is, are you a coffee drinker or are you a coffee snob or are you a coffee connoisseur?
I'm a coffee drinker.
So it doesn't mean कि रेकड़ी का कॉफी आया या घर में बनाया या नेस्कैफे का 2 स्पून डाल के बनाया या कॉफी इज अ कॉफी.
Taste आई kick आई बहुत हो गया. So I don't know whether it has been roasted, ground, or shared by some animal in Indonesia. So as long as it tastes good, it gives me the kick. I'm happy with my coffee.
Okay, वड़ा पाव और पानी पूरी.
Vada pav.
Is it because your house has too many of those good vada pav walas and no pani puri walas, or by general terms vada pav is easier?
Vada pav is easier, one, quite filling. Number two, and I really love that tikha vada pav with fried mirchi on the side. So vada pav plus mirchi, that is the combo. Just vada pav doesn't cut it.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Gaurav, for being with us. We shall let you know once we edit and share the details with you over the coming week or so. Thank you so much once again. Bye bye. You have a good day.
Thank you, sir. It was lovely talking to you. Bye.
If you like this episode, like, share, and subscribe to the 1 Hour Mentor, Anak Desai.